that was
That's
something.
very nice, and to be successful in your first international project is very nice.
Yeah.
So I want to know any failure, because failure teaches us much
Oh
more
yes,
than success.
and around that time, in fact, this was before the success came in. Big problem that one of we, like I told you earlier, we used to do a lot of track maintenance activity. That was our biggest because that was the only way we could get some money. So one of our government clients said that no, we don't want you to just do the maintenance. We want you to do complete rehabilitation of a particular section then. Which those days was a big amount because
Where
in India itself. In India itself, yeah, one of the government
South India
clients. That was Central India,
Central.
basically. So they had confidence because we've been maintaining their railway system for almost 3-4 years, and they had great confidence. So they said, no, we don't want to appoint another contractor. You can appoint it, but we want you to kind of take it up as a EPC kind of concept, which we don't even understand. So that is where we happily took it without realizing the implications. And when we started, after signing the job, we realized that we needed at least 5 or 6 lakh rupees as working capital, which was almost half a year of turnover. So that is when we realized that we hardly had 50,000 in our bank, and how could we actually buy equipment or buy material worth kind of 5 or 6 lakh rupees? Because everybody, since we were a nobody, so nobody was willing to give us credit, nobody was willing to talk to us without money, and taking the job, we got stuck. We couldn't even refuse after signing the contract. So that was a big challenge. I started running around banks, everything. So we were able to kind of convince one of the vendors, which is, see, in a railway rehabilitation, those sleepers which you see are the most expensive component. Rails, of course, rails normally the clients provide because it's brought in from the government. SAIL used to supply rails. So but the sleepers were the biggest, most expensive part. So we were able to convince one of the manufacturers that, okay, we'll pay by rotation, so as much as we pick is what we'll pay, but the total order is kind of, X numbers or whatever, but we could only pay for some 10% of that at any given time, and he would always replenish us and give us maybe 30 days credit till we got our payment. It's only the first time we had to pay him. He got convinced with that, and we were also able to then convince Andhra Bank, I still remember, to open a letter of credit for us. Those days, princely amount of, I think, 2.5 lakh rupees or something, to give that comfort to that vendor. So that was there, and those days, again, no mobiles, nothing, and this was a remote Central India, remote corner, which, the site was from the nearest town was maybe 15 kilometers away. So no mobile phone, but you had to still monitor. So the guy from the field there would call up suddenly in the middle of the night that tomorrow there's material is not coming and things, and what do I answer the client? So those were great, again, both learning and also gave us confidence that if you kind of have the will, if you, have the kind of vision, you're able to overcome obstacles. So like I said, we were able to convince the vendor to give us. So that also taught us the value of ethics, because that is where the vendor also realized, because he had heard a bit about people behind the company. He said, yes, these people can't defraud me. Kind of, because eventually we became good friends. So that's when he told me all this. That